There is an amazing description about the day of Pentecost recorded in the book of Acts in chapter 2. Now the followers of Jesus were still in mourning, even though he had told them what to expect. They just didn't understand it. After Jesus died that ugly death on the cross, they were amazed to see him alive. He was resurrected. How could this be? He appeared to a lot of different people during those days until it was time for him to return to heaven. Before he went, he gave words of hope and words of comfort to his followers, and they were recorded in Luke chapter 24, verse 49. And now I will send the Holy Spirit, just as my Father promised. So stay in the city until the Holy Spirit comes and fills you with power from heaven. Now, of course, the disciples had very little idea what he was actually speaking about. They remained faithful, however, and stayed in Jerusalem, waiting with an expectancy. Luke, the author of Acts, puts it like this. On the day of Pentecost, all the believers were meeting together in one place. Suddenly, there was a sound from heaven like the roaring of a mighty windstorm, and it filled the house where they were sitting. Then what looked like flames or tongues of fire appeared and settled on each one of them. And everyone present was filled with the Holy Spirit. And they began speaking in other languages as the Holy Spirit gave them the ability. May I remind you that this was just the beginning. This event is often called the birthday of the church. This was when the Holy Spirit came in a tangible way, touching lives, empowering people to go out and minister throughout the world, uniting people, bringing them together, empowering people and changing lives. This wasn't just for a select few. It was for everyone. This weekend we celebrate Pentecost and the coming of the Holy Spirit to guide and lead us as God's people in the same way as it happened on that first day of Pentecost in Jerusalem. Oh, we have a big responsibility, but we have a bigger God. There's an old saying, if God calls, he equips. That is through the power and the presence of his Holy Spirit. Now, the Holy Spirit has been ministering to and moving amongst his people since that time, and he is still active even today. The Holy Spirit has been described in many ways. He is like a wind, some say a breath, that blows away the dust and makes everything clean and new. He is like a refreshing, cool drink of water to a dry, parched throat. He is like the potter who begins with a lump of clay and moulds it and shapes it into something beautiful. He is like someone who is restoring a building, using what is already there, but strengthening it, refreshing it and restoring it to better than new. He's like a parent working with and gently guiding a child through life. That is a part of what the Holy Spirit does. And as Jesus said, he is the comforter. He restores, he empowers, he reminds, and he guides. The Holy Spirit is still very active in our church today. And it's not hard to feel, to see that, and to know his presence. Is he moving in your life? If you're unsure, ask him to come in and live in your heart. He is faithful. Have a wonderful week, celebrating Pentecost and the power and the presence of the Holy Spirit, who is there for you to equip and to comfort God's people. Remember that we are blessed to be a blessing.